Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to say Barakatah, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kadash. Double honest, the apostles and elders, a great millstone salutations to the sincere Akiam that pushed this truth in all due diligence and sincerity. As you could probably assume, I'm on my way to the plantation, and I just wanted to do a walk and talk video just on the latest state of affairs here in the UK. As Revelations 13 and 16 says, He calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell or save, except he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 606, roughly paraphrasing. Now, listen, here in the UK, I still remember when Apostle Tahar made a statement and he said, yo, man, the elected in the UK will be tried first. I made a comment on a video of his, and I sent a video over of Tony Blair saying, as the Prime Minister, you got to go through a lot of bureaucracy in order to get your policies exercised. But when you're in the liaison with the army, you just make a command, the next day it's done. No bureaucracy. And he, did the video in the spirit about the elected the UK being tried first, right? Now, we knew ultimately he was speaking in the spirit, wasn't exactly sure how it was going to take place or what it was going to look like. Fast forward to 2025, with all these nations already having their central bank digital currencies, digital infrastructure, the 5G, all of the stuff brothers have been speaking about for years. The UK is fast accelerating towards digital ID as the central point for absolutely everything. They're using the so-called migrant crisis that they are, immigration/migrant crisis that they're promoting on the news everywhere as the use case for why it's absolutely essential, and saying, it's a matter of national security. They need to know who's coming in and out the country. Like, that's not why we have passports and national insurance numbers for that people forge anyway. Like, digital IDs can't be forged. But they're accelerating the country towards the use of digital ID as a necessity, an essential part of life in London, man, where you need digital ID in order to function and operate, in order to literally get a job, to make payments, to register for your payments if you're on the universal credit system, UBI. Already, basically we call it UC here, but it is UBI. In order to be able to register for a director for a company now. So like, let's say you want to become an entrepreneur. Let's say you say working directly for Esau ain't for me. I want to set up my own limited company and be able to work for myself or work as a subcontractor for a company, for my own small little company, so I can get paid into that and pay myself dividends for tax purposes. So now register as a director for a company. Officially, as of yesterday, you must register digitally, man. That means you got to go onto company's house to register in the UK for these companies. You got to scan your face, get a webcam out, let it record your facial recognition, and then you must put your details, your national insurance number, other key information like that identifies you on top of that to your biometrics, so that when Esau Edom wants to identify you, it's possible and easy to do so. You gotta understand, like, we are moving fast, towards the mark of the beast technology. When Revelations 12 and 12 reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, but the devil, and that's the physical incarnation of the devil, so-called devil, Esau Edom, cometh down on you with quick, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, roughly paraphrasing, for the devil cometh down onto you with great wrath, because he knows that you have but a short time. Literally within the space of a couple of months, they've accelerated the digital ID bill through certain elements of the system, whereby now, in order to register at all for an an entrepreneurial venture, whether you want to be a carpenter, whether you want to, literally be a delivery driver but get paid into a company, to have any form of limited company where you're a person of significant control, so you have 25% shareholding and above, you got to currently register personal details. But to be a director, registered on company's house, like the actual leader of a company, you need to have digital ID, man. You need to 100% shareholder / director, like you need to have digital ID. And they're trying to claim that this is just to make the process a lot easier, to make sure that they can combat false directorship claims, because currently you do have situations where people set up companies with false details and ultimately director names that don't exist, so that when it comes down to trying to claim money or find companies or sue them, there's no one to actually attribute that blame to, because ultimately the system is possible to rig at the moment. It's possible to commit fraud. It is possible. However, what they're proposing now literally will mean that if Companies House, which is an extension of the UK government, just don't like something that you recently said or feel like you're going against some sort of policy, with your digital ID, they've got your facial recognition, they've got your biometrics, man. Like, listen, they can shut your company down in an instant, and they know who you are, your address details, your passport details. You ain't flying anywhere out the country. If you've traveled recently, they know exactly where you're at, and it's all going towards that end goal of having the RFID microchip that I quoted earlier in Revelation 13 to 16. Because out of convenience, a lot of people are going to move towards the digital ID, but those in the know ain't, and they're going to push heavy on that convenience and that cyber security and the need to protect the nation and have one source of ID for everything. And eventually, when inevitably Esau Eden allows that system to get hacked, because those false flag events do occur, man. And Esau Edom is always going to be behind these false flags in order to get his end goal, which is the chip in order. When that digital system, does eventually get hacked, when people's details does eventually go missing, that chip is going to be the answer, man. That is the end goal. Like, that is Havana for Esau, man. To have everybody in the world chipped. That is the end goal that these elites have been planning for years, even before the early 2000s, to literally have the entire globe RFID chips, man, to have their servants, their serfs tagged, man, like the goyim that they see them as. Now, our brother's gonna even go, our brother's gonna go close to that RFID? Fuck no, because we know what the judgment is written of in the book of Revelations also. Revelations 14, for example, goes into it, man, the fire of the Lord's indignation. And at the end of the day, it's explicitly stated, man, in our law that we shall make no markings or cuttings in our flesh regardless. We ain't making no blood pact with Esau either. Now, this digital ID app, we, at the end of the day, we're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. We know that this app is fallible, man. They're paying private contractors to deliver an app on behalf of the UK government. So it's not even a government official app. It's an app on behalf, being created by a private company on behalf of the government, meaning that somebody's profiting off the exploitation and the collection of data of the people, and which means they can sell your data on, which means, ultimately speaking, man, eventually they're going to allow this system to get hacked 100%, because they are going to need a fallible excuse to bring in the implantable RFID, which is the end goal. So, statement is, should you fuck with the digital ID if you need to work? Personally, I ain't a fan of it. I definitely, and it's not the mark of the beast yet, but it's coming. Do I want these devils with my picture on their shit and like, you know, my biometrics? I mean, they got the shit already through the passports. So yeah, you know, I'll let you make that decision in regards to what you need to do around that. But when it comes to the Revelations 13 to 16, man, when it comes to the point where they're saying, yo, we got chipping stations like when they had the CV crisis, and they're saying, yeah, you know, you need to book your appointment and come in and get your implantable CHIP. That's when, yo, it's all guns ablaze. That's when it's, yo, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kashah, deliver us, Yahweh Shai, give us liberation from this devil. That's when the Lord's gonna start really speeding up time, man. When he gets people in that trip bag of actually voluntarily going towards that chip, because that's what this whole process is with this cost of living that they're purposely manufacturing, man. It's to get people in a state of such desperation that they are ready and begging for the chip. Not even just ready, that they're begging for the chip. They're begging for a way to pay their bills. They're begging for a way to get their social credits up. And I'm telling you, man, that time is coming real soon. We are on the precipice of that. We are not far away, man, from the RFID chip being mandatory. So, knowing the times, brethren, what manner of people ought we to be, man? Hoping for the coming day of Yahweh Shai, man. Listen, do the work, man. That's all I can say to you. Do the work of Yahweh Shai. Lock in. Of course, brothers, you know, it's a financially difficult time. We all got stuff to pay for. But know that there's going to come a point in time where we're going to get clocked off this system. Where that's going to be it. It's going to be done. And ultimately, man, we're going to have to go full nomad mode. And that's why it's written, man shall not live by bread alone, man. Don't worry about what you're going to eat or how you're going to survive in that day. The Lord's going to provide. But in the meantime, while we got this period of grace, get right with the Lord. Study. Understand that. Get yourself locked in. Get in the right frame of mind. Because it's going to be a difficult time, man. Gird up thy loins. Shalom.